Spring was moving in the air above and in the earth below and around him, penetrating even his dark and lowly little house with its spirit of divine discontent and longing. It was small wonder, then, that he suddenly flung down his brush on the floor, said, "Bother!" and "Oh, blow!" and also, "Hang spring cleaning," and bolted out of the house without even waiting to put on his coat. Something up above was calling him imperiously, and he made for the steep little tunnel which answered, in his case, to the gravelled carriage drive, owned by animals whose residences are nearer to the sun and air. So he scraped and scratched and scrabbled and scrooged, and then he scrooged again and scrabbled and scratched and scraped, working busily with his little paws and muttering to himself, "Up we go, we go, we go," until at last, pop, his snout came out into the sunlight, and he found himself rolling in the warm grass of a great meadow. Jumping off all his forelegs at once in the joy of living and the delight of spring without its cleaning, he pursued his way across the meadow till he reached the hedge on the further side.
"Hold up,"
said an elderly rabbit at the gap.
"6 pence for the privilege of passing by the private road."
He was bowled over in an instant by the impatient and contemptuous mole, who trotted along the side of the hedge, chafing the other rabbits as they peered hurriedly from their holes to see what the row was about. "Onion sauce," he remarked jeeringly, and was gone before they could think of a thoroughly satisfactory reply. And then they all started grumbling at each other.
"Why didn't you tell them?
Why didn't you tell them?
You might have reminded them."
Said you might have. And so on, in the usual way. But of course, it was then much too late, as is always the case. It all seemed too good to be true. Hither and thither through the meadows he rambled busily, along the hedgerows, across the copses, finding everywhere birds building, flowers budding, leaves thrusting, everything happy and progressive, occupied. And instead of having any uneasy conscience pricking him and whispering, "Whitewash," he somehow could only feel how jolly it was to be the only idle dog amongst all these busy citizens. After all, the best part of holidays, perhaps, not so much to be resting yourself as to see all the other fellows busy working. The mole was bewitched, entranced, fascinated. By the side of the river he trotted as one trots when very small by the side of a man who holds one spellbound by exciting stories. And when tired at last, he sat on the bank, while the river still chattered on to him, a babbling procession of the best stories in the world sent from the heart of the earth to be told at last to the insatiable sea. And then he held up his forepaw as the mole stepped gingerly down.
"Lean on that,"
he said.
"Now then, step lively."
And the mole, to his surprise and rapture, found himself actually seated in the stern of a real boat. Do you know, I've never been in a boat before in all my life.
"What?"
cried the rat, open-mouthed.
"Never been in a... You never... Well, What have you been doing then? Nice. It's the only thing,"
said the water rat solemnly as he leaned forward for his stroke.
"Believe me, my young friend, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, half so much worth doing as simply messing about in boats. Simply messing,"
he went on dreamily.
"Messing about in boats. Messing."
Oh, look ahead! Rat! cried the mole suddenly. But it was too late. The boat struck the bank full tilt, and the dreamer, the joyous oarsman, lay on his back at the bottom of the boat, his heels in the air.
"About in boats. Or with boats."
The rat went on composedly, picking himself up with a pleasant laugh.
"In or out of him, it doesn't matter. Nothing seems to really matter, that's the charm of it. Whether you get away, or whether you don't, whether you arrive at your destination, or whether you reach somewhere else, or whether you never get anywhere at all. You're always busy, and you never do anything in particular, and when you've done it, there's always something else to do, and you can do it if you like, but you'd much better not. Look here, if you've really nothing else on hand this morning, supposing we drop down the river together and have a long day of it."
The The mole waggled his toes from sheer happiness, spread his chest with a sigh of full contentment, and leaned back blissfully into the soft cushions. What a day I'm having! He looped the painter through a ring in his landing stage, climbed up into his hole above, and after a short interval, reappeared staggering under a fat wicker luncheon basket.
Shove that under your feet,
He observed to the mole as he passed it down into the boat, and then he untied the painter and took the skulls again. Well, what's inside it? Asked the mole, wriggling with curiosity.
There's cold chicken inside it.
Replied the rat briefly.
Cold tongue, cold ham, cold beef, pickled gherkin, salad, French rolls, crescent sandwiches, spotted meat, ginger beer, lemonade, soda water.
Oh, stop, stop, cried the mole in ecstasies. This is too much.
Do you really think so?
Inquired the rat seriously.
It's only what I always take on these little excursions. And the other animals are always telling me that I'm a mean beast and cut it very fine.
The mole never heard a word he was saying. Absorbed in the new life he was entering upon, intoxicated with the sparkle and the ripple and the scents and the sounds and the sunlight, he trailed a paw in the water and dreamed